Welcome back to Bloomers in the Garden. Cameron, Coast of Maine holds true to its roots, like Len was saying, in Maine.
Sure.
Now, some of the products can be really hard to say, you know that. if you're not from New England, anyway.
No, it's interesting because Carlos had a great idea, but it's great regionally. But Penobscot blend, Quaddy blend, Schoodic blend, all these names mean
Quaddy
nothing.
blend. That was the hard one.
It's actually for Passamaquoddy Bay, and then people call it Quaddy, and there's Quaddy Headlight. So all of the bags have a story behind them, and actually, when you think about Maine, there's great storytellers in Maine, and that's what we do. So I think we tell the story of Coast of Maine and of Maine, and what goes in the bag, and we are true to our roots. We're still very concerned with the first garden center that bought product from us. That's our core. Make sure you take care of the locals that started. We've developed new products over time. We keep the same old school composting techniques in the same beautiful bags, but we're all about buy local organic practices is really at the core of what we do. And I think we represent the best of the state of Maine by doing that, because it's very much, an environmentally friendly, absolutely beautiful state.
It is. It is. And you're almost in Canada, right?
Our facility is in Marion, Maine. It's almost to the easternmost point of the continental United States. We actually do some business with Canada just because it's local, really. We obviously have some Canadian peat in our products, and we have some other businesses that we've done business with, but it's regional. And then what we've done is to purchase that facility, Fry Brothers, that is now Fry Group down in Pennsylvania, and the whole point of that is to replicate what we do in Maine, little different inputs, but the practices are the same, and it's taken us about 4 years to get that really streamlined and running, and so now we're local to the Mid-Atlantic. So we're local to New England, we're all local to the Mid-Atlantic. We hope to do the same thing to be local to the Midwest and little regions across the country. Because we want to. Go ahead.
Let me make an important point. Those of you that don't know, that a lot of, let's just say, potting soil that you buy, not Coast of Maine soils, but other brands, where they just send bags, send a recipe, and hope they get it right. Where you actually own the facilities and make sure that it's right. I cannot tell what's in a bag from whether it's from up in Maine or whether it's from the plant here in the Delaware Valley, basically.
And that's a lot of work. People do not understand. We actually had, you're a Master Nursery Garden Center,
yes, sir.
And you sell bumper crop too, correct?
Yep.
So for people that don't know, that's a brand that we actually make on the East Coast. But one of the things that happened was we used an actual higher grade of peat that was blonde. And the first 680 pallets that we made of that product for Master Nursery, we cut them open and we dumped them out. It didn't look right. Efficacy probably would have been the same, but the impression of opening the bag wouldn't have. So that's the kind of stuff that we do to maintain quality. And you'll also find that, if anybody has any issue with our product, we're very much like an old Maine company, LLB. You're dissatisfied, you find out why, and then you just make sure that they get paid for it, or you call the garden center and say, hey, get this person another bag. We do a lot of interaction individually with the garden centers too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm always kind of surprised when someone shows up from Coast of Maine, because it's so rare for us to see our manufacturers at our door. We'll see distributors and reps, but not like the actual manufacturer comes to visit and it's like, whoa, hey.
Well, and we try to.
You should have called. I would have combed my hair.
Yeah, exactly. No, and so what we try to do is to create that community, right? It's because, again, the brand is doing so extremely well, right? It starts with the people that make the product. Yes, the bags are beautiful, and then it goes to the people that sell the product. The independent garden centers are the most responsible people for our brand. We know that clearly. And so we promote buy local. And we have all kinds of programs that we do to drive traffic to the local garden center because we know that's important. You're an important part of your local community, and that's where we want to stay.
Well, I've talked with the big boys, and I try to, let them know that they're having success in box stores only because the local independent garden center has deemed them and made them kings. And that once it leaves let's just say once we have created the brand, and that once it leaves us or the company leaves us and they sell to the mass merchants, the quality goes down, and then it basically just becomes a widget to them and something that's on their bottom line. And where you guys have dedicated yourselves to understanding that, and I just want to thank you as an independent businessman and the garden center.
Thank you.
And the it all comes down to this too. Your bag could be just clear plastic, or even white plastic, and what's in the bag matches how beautiful the bag is inside.
Yeah. I like to say, using an old school term, if you're courting somebody, male or female, you want to, obviously you want to be attracted to that person, but it's really what's inside them that's important. And I look at our bags that way. I mean, I really do. They look great, but they're deep, and they're deep, and they feed your plants, and they feed your plants in a natural way by setting the culture properly for that plant, and the plant learns how to take care of itself. If we all raised our kids that way, they wouldn't be living with us at 30.
I can't say anything. Anyway, as far as the soil goes itself, the different blends, it is impressive. It is impressive of what's in the bag. And I go back to way back. I was on for a short time. I was on for one term. I was on the board of masters, and it was when I think it was right when the conversion was happening from Annapolis Valley peat to Coast of Maine, and you guys had a working relationship with Annapolis Valley peat. Is that correct, or is that too far long ago?
Yeah. No, I mean, what we basically did was help them distribute it.
Okay.
The way we got involved, they were in Canada, and we were good at logistics, or Carlos was, and so they needed help, and so that's what we did. And then they were just too far away from the market,
right?
And they were, they had other things that were going on. We always treated that Master Nursery brand just like our own, and that's what happens with us and everything, right? We do business with somebody, you're just as important as the next person. And that's the way we treated them, and that's how we built that bumper crop brand.
Right.
We did a lot of marketing on that.
Right.
But it's the basis of all those products is unbelievable composting and inputs.
Well, in the next segment that's coming up, we're going to go to a break, and we're going to talk about that. What exactly? When did composted lobster shells become a soil additive? That's what I want to know. Right.
I can tell you all about it.
All right, we're going to listen to that right when we come back, right after these messages.